Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Multiverse Maker, and this is the Multiverse Studios. And I haven't done one of these in a while. It's time for a comic book superhero fusion. And this one has been one that I've had balanced in my head a couple times here and there for like just a general design or just fusion idea that I thought would be really cool, because in both Marvel Comics and DC Comics, these two are one of my favorites, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to fuse them together. And the two that I am mentioning are Spider-Man and Nightwing. And I honestly think that the fusion that I came up with, like suit design and everything, is honestly pretty cool. And also, just to do a little heads up, I'm going to be doing probably a lot of these primarily in black and white because I really like that aesthetic. So if you see, the end product will be in a black and white setting, so that way you guys don't have any confusion. First up, let's go ahead and just talk about the origin of Spider-Wing, as I am calling him. Imagine Peter Parker still bitten by the radioactive spider that changes and mutates his DNA. But instead of being in New York, he is in Bloodhaven, Nightwing's area where he's protecting, along with possibly hopping into Gotham whenever Batman needs him. But one night, as Nightwing is going through Bloodhaven, stopping any criminal activities or things of that nature, he comes across a young vigilante wearing a hoodie, a homemade mask, and is bouncing between enemies with extreme agility and also crawling on the walls, and with some homemade gadgets of his own. Nightwing, aka Dick Grayson, instead of TKOing him and sending him with the police, he goes ahead and, like Batman did for him, went ahead and took him under his wing. And under the tutelage of the original Robin, Peter Parker became more of an adept fighter and superhero than he could have ever been on his own. He was able to adapt the aerobatic fighting style that Nightwing has from his years of experience as a trapeze artist to just fighting from a young age alongside Batman. And just the overall strength and agility and knowledge that he now has would have been years of experience he would have needed, but now has under proper tutelage for someone like Nightwing. So he now has the trapeze artist skills and the flexibility that Nightwing has, tied in with his spider powers, spidey senses, wall crawling, even his web shooters that he would have made, all tied into one. And he's even adapted Nightwing's Patan fighting style, the nightsticks that he's using, into his fighting style to make even more combat style fighting, merging the two together. And yes, I know Spider-Man has never used a weapon except for things that he's webbed up and used as blunt projectiles, but I think using that would be really cool aesthetic, and plus it adds a little bit more of Nightwing's influence into the character. Now let's just go ahead and talk about what his powers are still. So, bitten by a radioactive spider, and with it still being the base of Peter Parker, he still has your basic Spider-Man ability of crawling on walls, web slinging, and everything like that, which will of course, allow him to traverse the sea with greater ease than probably what Nightwing would. And like I said before, he would have more of Nightwing's combat style integrated into Spider-Man's more, how do I put it, adjusting to the situation as needed style. Like, Spider-Man's style, yes, is like, can be probably grounded somewhere in the actual fighting style, but his way of fighting is more adjusting to each and every scenario. Where Nightwing would have a more of a ground basis of like martial arts fighting style than Spider-Man would. And he would still have the super jumps like Spider-Man would, and is capable of doing actually a lot more type of trick shots, I guess you could say, in the air from the tutelage and training from Nightwing. So basically thinking of how Nightwing would fight and possibly other things that he would have done possibly in the air, both as his days as Robin and his days as Nightwing now. Elevate that to where Spider-Man's influence is, and that's how he would look in my head. But his aerobatics would be a lot more, what would be the word? Graceful, I guess would be the best way of putting it, because this is Nightwing we're talking about, so his way of teaching probably would be a little bit more graceful than what Batman would. And also Nightwing can be a bit more of a show-off, so still somewhat Spider-Man adjacent. Next up, let's just go ahead and talk about the suit. Nightwing has a very simple aesthetic for his suit, and not that I'm harshing on the developers, but it really didn't give me much to go on as far as merging it with Spider-Man, because I wanted to merge the two together, but Nightwing's suit, for what it is very simple. It is base black with the blue and the red, depending on the version, symbol of a bird on his chest. And yes, he has the face mask, eye cover thing, but beyond that, there wasn't really much truly to go on as far as merging with Peter Parker Spider-Man. Because if I were to try to do that, it would be very closely related or similar to that of a, I don't know. It just wouldn't work well, at least in my head, at least, when I was trying to figure it out. But I then remembered, if I was just focusing on Spider-Man and not necessarily Peter Parker. So I went ahead and just Googled a whole bunch of different Spider-Man suits, and I decided to take elements of Spider-Man 2099 Miguel. For those of you who needs a little bit more information, that one red and blue suit Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse movie that tried to stop and or kill Miles in the movie, that Spider-Man is Spider-Man 2099. And I went ahead and took some influence from his red and blue costume of Spider-Man in that one, primarily the chest, because the symbol on his chest actually has, like, not death, but it looks solid, has 3D stuff, so it kind of looks more like armor in a sense. So I went ahead and I put that on to Spider-Man, making it like a chest plate that would protect him from blows to the chest, you know, keeping the heart safe and everything. And I kind of had, and for those who can see it, have a a piece of the chest go over his neck area, the area between the neck and the shoulder, and it's also fashioned into a holder for the batons that he would have had from training with Nightwing. So that's the route I went with the suit design, and if I were to say color it, probably the base suit probably would be black, maybe dark navy blue, because believe it or not, black does not blend in very well into a black background. Dark navy blue does. As weird as that sounds, for those who don't know color theory, dark navy blue blends in better than like black does. So yeah, it just blends in better. But if I were to color, the base suit would be dark navy blue, probably black, and the chest piece would probably be a red, because I like the color red. And plus Spider-Man's suit is primarily red. And I do have a stripe going from the bottom of the chest plate across his stomach. That would also be red. And I don't know, the eye goggles on the head, or the holes, whatever those are called on the mask where he sees out of, I would probably also color those, actually not white, I'm thinking maybe a little bit of gold, like a bronzy gold color, if I were to color it. But yeah, that's how I actually have this character, and I really like the style of it. But as I was finishing up this character, I kind of had, or just when I was coming up with this character, I kind of had a interesting thought bubble. What would be the villain for Spider-Wing? Like, how would the villain for this character be? Because in my head, I would be fusing like Spider-Man's most iconic villains with Nightwing. And a couple things just came to mind, like Spider-Man's Dr. Octavius, which, depending on the version, he's either a hero or a villain. Cottlepot, or the Penguin, to Red X. For those of you who has never seen the original Teen Titans series, look it up. Red X was a really badass character who was at one point also Robin till someone else took up the mantle. And probably maybe even Venom fused with one of the other characters. Like, I think Nightwing has had interactions with Clayface at some point, but I also know he's also had contact with the League of Assassins due to Batman. But I don't know, just thinking of the different things or people that would possibly be a fusion for villain for Spider-Wing would be actually really cool to see. So overall, I hope you guys like the total outcome. I haven't done one of these for a while, so I hope you guys like it, and I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. Like, I generally had fun drawing this. So yeah, see you guys in the next video, and if you also want to see some other stuff that I've been doing, I have been doing a lot of gaming-centered content over the last couple weeks, I think it's been, and I've been having fun with those. So if you guys want to check out those videos, feel free, go right ahead, and also go ahead and check out some of my older videos. There's still some of my older fusion ones to some of my other story concept characters that I come up with of my own. But yeah, go ahead and do all that stuff. Also, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you guys like it and would like to see more. So yeah, see you guys next time. I still don't have a proper outro for this. Bye.